that solid rock.
Right.
But to someone from the other side, it's a hologram. And so moving back and forth through a hologram isn't so difficult if you know it's a hologram. But if you don't know it's a hologram, then it's rock and you're not going to go through it.
I've seen a lot of craft and devices like this that are so organic, you'll walk right by it. You would never know that it was what it is.
Yeah, people who are spelunkers could have been in a cavern and stood right next to an entrance and not known it was there. Because again, unless you have permission or you know how to open the gate, you're not allowed in there. So,
as far as these insectoids go, these people they call them the ant people. Now, do they have a queen? Do they lay eggs? Do they have families? Are they how does that work?
It's a hive mentality from what I understand, and operate on a large queen or king. It is possible, which not many people know this, it is possible for an insectoid hive to either be run by a supreme male or a supreme female. There isn't necessarily a universal, male, female, king or queen and male or female drones. That's something that we tend to see replicated in insect life here on the planet. But when you're talking about the more evolved species, it turns out that they can actually kind of go either way.
Interesting. Of all the other interworld beings out there, other than the ones living below the planet, are there any commonalities that you've noticed yourself between them?
I mean, certainly this bigger sense of existence, because most of them have lived down there for a very, very, very long time and have had continuous civilization longer than we've had up here. Up on the surface, civilization, goes like this. Underground, it's more of a steady climb, because again, there's not these, disastrous extinction events that keep occurring. So they're able to continue over time for long periods of time. So they have recorded history that goes back tens of thousands or even hundreds of thousands of years.
Would you say they're more conscious than we are and have evolved more than we have?
I would say for the most part. I wouldn't say that means that they have more potential than we do. There seems to be a consistency in understanding that terrestrial humans who live on the surface have among the greatest potential of beings that we're aware of. And we've had a number of advanced beings tell us that. I think a lot of the beings who live underground have been evolving from a continuous line for a very, very long time that doesn't have the same potential. So their development is higher, but their potential is not necessarily as high as our own. So give us 1,000 years and we can surpass them all.
Is there any time, do you believe in the future, that we'll have interaction with them?
Yeah, absolutely. I would say that when we finally cross the chasm of disclosure, that's not going to be too far away from interacting with those species as well. And there are certainly some people who interact with them now and have been interacting with them for decades. It's just been on a very small scale. So I think when we open up the travel gateways back and forth and so forth, that could open up a lot of opportunities for them to communicate and interact with us.
I know it's hard to judge a time. I don't like when people ask me what time is that going to happen. But is there a time frame, because of your experience, that you see coming in the near future that you could tell the audience?
I normally also don't like to give timelines. My brigadier general, though, has said to me this year that it's perfectly okay for me to start saying that we should expect a disclosure event in the next 6 to 24 months. If it's past 24 months, I'll be shocked and surprised. If it's less than 6, I will also be shocked and surprised. But it seems that the highest probability is somewhere in that window. So soon, I think very soon. Now, what happens after that? Like what happens 5, 10? Good question, because everything's going to change. So there's really no trying to predict what happens after that. But I think we're so close to that I can taste it in the back of my throat.
Well, Randy, another exciting event today with you. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's my pleasure.
I'm Emery Smith, and this is Cosmic Disclosure. Until next time.